Ladies and gentlemen, Aviation Lads has released yet another video showcasing more of the cockpit as well as system depth of the upcoming Embraer E175 coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. The aircraft is being made by Aerosoft and Flightsim Studio in conjunction, so Flightsim Studio is going to be making the aircraft itself and is going to be sold through Aerosoft as a client, and it is currently coming soon for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, I've already made two videos doing a complete detailed deep dive into the Embraer E175, covering both the exterior as well as the interior respectively. So again, credit to Aviation Lads for creating these videos and these trailer masterpieces. I really couldn't be doing these dissections without him, but I have done two dissection videos on the E175, and if you want to check them out, they're linked down below in the description section of this video. Today's video, however, is quite long awaited. We finally get to see the level of system depth, modeling, and bespoke animations we can expect when the final add-on releases. So do grab your popcorn and let's dissect the trailer together. What is going on, guys? Varun from Flyby Simulations here, and welcome back to another dissection slash deep dive video on the Embraer E-Jets. Now, right before we begin, I have to say that again, the Flyby Simulations journey, the community is growing at an extremely fast rate. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to comment on this video as to what you want to see on the channel going forward, as well as give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification or bell icon to stay in the know-how of everything happening in the world of flight sim. With that all said, let's jump into the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so let's start with a background frame-by-frame analysis of this trailer to unravel its mysteries, so to speak. I've already covered the PBR capabilities of the exterior modeling in the first video we did on the E-Jets, but from an external perspective, the aircraft does look truly awesome. Moving on, we get inside the flight deck, and as discussed in the previous video, we do get a fully modeled cabin, doors, and everything like that, so we can move in and out of the cockpit seamlessly, and that is a feature that is going to be coming with this aircraft. The bird's eye view of the cold and dark cockpit here also looks very realistic and very nice, and the system modeling, coloring, and everything like that in this next shot also looks very indicative of a real E175. The glare shield textures themselves do look a little too clean and plain in my opinion, but regardless, the placards, scruffs, and scratches on the overall glare shield itself and overall appearance of the aircraft in terms of the colors and everything looks very nice. Now, before proceeding to the next shot, this is also one of the first videos released by Aviation Lads on the E175 with sounds. So I'll let you briefly listen to all of the uncut sounds from within the cockpit super quick, and then we can proceed with the frame-by-frame analysis. Here it goes.
Pilots boarding.
So, as you guys heard, the team has done a very good job with these sounds. At least I think so personally, never having been inside the cockpit of a real E175. Most buttons, switches, and spring-loaded dials do have their own sounds, along with custom sounds for indications and warnings within the flight deck, contributing to a realistic or semi-realistic experience, at least I would imagine. There's also pretty decent sounds for the exterior of the aircraft, but they get pretty loud with the accompanying music in the trailer, so I'll let you guys go check them out yourselves by watching the full trailer as mentioned before. Coming back to this particular frame, however, we can see an accurately modeled overhead panel with the iconic white backlighting for all of these switches. The dial turning also has a custom movement animation instead of just flipping positions, which sometimes can get unrealistic, and I hate when aircraft developers do that with their switches, but this one does have a full turn-by-turn bespoke animation to go along with the dial changing positions. Very good to see. In the next shot here, we can see first signs of the status page displays with the emergency exit light being armed. Now, we'll get to this in a bit, and I do have a disclaimer from real-world pilots and what they think of this page, the ECAS display as it's called, towards the end of the video, but we'll get to this in just a bit. Moving on, we also have something very interesting to see here, not just the door opening and the accompanying status displays that have been simulated, but also the possibility for pop-up display support. Now, many people do love pop-up displays to multitask and keep track of their flight while they're in different views during their flight, and I'm one of those people, so I hope this isn't just editing magic and actually a feature with the aircraft. So if Flightsim Studio is listening and if they can make this happen, please do. Love pop-up displays. Looking at the displays here themselves, we can clearly see the doors page with all of the doors, including the cargo and service door operational. We can also see several crucial indications modeled, which include the engine parameters, gear and brake temperature, pressure, etc. And again, as I said before, we'll get to this part in just a bit towards the end of the video, but some pilots have said that these indications so far, looking at this trailer, aren't as accurate as they would like it to be. So we'll get to that in just a second. On the right, we can also see some more detailed parameters, including the system status page, engine readings, fuel readings, and performance data. Very good to see all of this at least looked after and simulated in some capacity with this aircraft. The next shot here again is proof that doors are dynamic and interactable, and the next few shots after that we can actually see the APU power-up sequence, which is of course, for any person who knows how to fly aircraft, they would know that this is a pretty important part of the aircraft power-up sequence. In the beginning, the GPU is connected, as you guys can see, and then the pilot or the virtual captain turns on the APU master switch and finally switches the APU to run mode. Again, pretty basic feature to implement in any proper payware aircraft, nothing to write home about, as I said, but still good to see the animations, indications, and proper procedure being simulated. Now, when the APU does come on, you can also see the full electrical page firing up and showcasing accurate readings. At least I think they're accurate. Some people have said that all of the buses seem to be connected here, which isn't accurate in an Embraer. I can't conclude if this is decent system depth or not, but I have to say that it should suffice for basic point-to-point operations. The next shot here confirms my theory from the first dissection video we did, which is to say that there's likely going to be a GSX Pro custom profile included and support to be made available from launch of the add-on. So exciting for all of you guys who like to use GSX Pro just like me. Moving on, we have another beautiful shot of the central console here and the iconic Embraer guarded engine startup switches. We see engine blur in this shot too, so again, most Microsoft Flight Simulator capabilities and assets are being used to the fullest extent here, and of course the hydraulics status page is also shown to be simulated. So the holy trifecta is here. We have the engines, we have the electricals, and we have the hydraulics all simulated in some capacity. Not much more you need for point-to-point operations. Next up, we can also see full flight control checks in progress with appropriate animations on the yoke, the rudder, as well as the appropriate pages displayed on the front screens. Nothing more to say there. Moving on, I personally love this shot of the flaps being set. The bottom screw holding girdle actually moves just like in real life, as you would have to squeeze the bottom of this handle to be able to move the flap positions accordingly. It goes to show the level of depth Flightsim Studio have tried to achieve with the add-on, at least in the animations and visuals department. Can't really criticize anything on the systems front considering I'm not a real-world pilot, but on the animations front, it is definitely a good looking add-on. The next few shots here show the takeoff and landing sequence, so let's just let it play while we talk about some of the pertinent details. Everything from the toga button behind the throttle quadrant to the individual thrust levers for each engine looks to be simulated very, very well. The colors on the PFD and ND look awesome and very indicative of the real aircraft. Now trust me on this, though I might not be a real world sort of Embraer pilot, I have seen real world images of the cockpit on Google Images and I've compared the colors, and for the most part they look very, very accurate. Moving external, we can see that none of the love given to the cockpit has been taken away from the external animations. From proper spoiler deployment upon touchdown to accurate, or at least what seems accurate, gear suspension and flexing, as well as reverser door animations have all been done to a very high degree of accuracy. Even the wheels when turning are indicative of the aircraft's speed, and the snow the aircraft leaves in its wake when trying to brake and stop also looks outstanding. Overall, no complaints I can make in the external or visual department. Personally, I come from the SSG Embraer E-Jets in X-Plane 11, and this looks much, much better than that, I have to say. And that, ladies and gentlemen, covers the whole trailer dissection that we were supplied with yesterday by Aviation Lads, but there is a little bit more information such as what the pilot's comments are and so on that I would like to get and address before we conclude this video. So first things first, do realize that this is a first look. I mean, it literally says that in the trailer title. Several real-world Embraer pilots have pointed out a few discrepancies between what's seen in the trailer and the aircraft in real life, and it specifically has to do with the ECAS indications. So I'm sure more work will be done on the system prior to release. As you guys can see, you can read what one of the pilots has said in the comment section below. All of these things do require fixing in due time, so I just wanted to put this out there. I didn't want to say, oh my god, I love this aircraft, and everybody in the comments tell me, hey, real world pilots have attested to the fact that this isn't as accurate as you're making it out to be. I completely understand that this might not be a study level high fidelity Embraer. I just like the fact that we're even getting an Embraer in the Microsoft Flight Simulator world. Next up, let's talk about some of the other housekeeping items like Xbox support, release date, and so on. So as for the release date, there is no definitive release date just yet. We still know it's only coming soon in air quotes. That's what it says on the official Flightsim Studio website. But given how much we've already seen of the aircraft, I would venture to say that a Q1 release in 2023 is probable. So possibly Jan or Feb is when this aircraft is coming out. Aviation Lads on Facebook has highlighted there will be another video next week, which is the final video apparently, so don't know what it's regarding, but many people in the comments seem to be suggesting the video will cover the FMC exclusively, so pretty excited to see. It'll really show the flying and autopilot capabilities of the bird, and can't wait to dissect that one too. I also know that several people will ask about Xbox support. I always get comments on my videos asking about Xbox support. So since last week, a few rumors have come out that it will be coming to PC first and then be released on Marketplace in lieu of Aerosoft's ongoing partnership with Asobo. So nothing substantial yet on this claim. It's still a rumor, so I hate to say it, but just sit tight. Good days are on the horizon for you folks when eventually WASM support is released by Asobo through Sim Update 12. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's video. Do let me know what you guys think of the Embraer E175 in the comment section below. Would love to get into a conversation with you guys and understand exactly what you guys are thinking about this add-on, what its entry into the Microsoft Flight Simulator space means to you personally, as well as to the rest of the flight simulation community. If you guys haven't already done so, also make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. Guys, we are growing very fast and I would love to have you part of the community, and also hit the notification or bell icon to not miss out on future dissections of trailers and so on like this. With that all said, thanks for watching and thanks for flying by.